The Frames Per Second podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Frames Per Second podcast. I am your host for the evening. My name is Mike, and next to me I have Ken.
What up?
Next to Ken, I have Spike.
What up, though?
And today we are reviewing the newest movie from Osgood Perkins entitled Longlegs. Let's go ahead and get some overall thoughts. I'll go ahead and get Spike out the way. Spike, what did you think of this movie?
It wasn't bad until the end. I think what they were going for, the creepy, slow, like, they did all of that well. The characters were good. The detective was good. What's my man's name? Blair Underwood did an amazing job. And they had me up until the very end. I was lost. I didn't. Even though they explained it, I think I kind of got it, but I was waiting to come in here and talk to you to see what you had to tell me.
I feel you.
Yeah, it was good until the end. I think everything they would try to execute, they executed well, except the ending.
Okay, Ken?
Wasn't necessarily, okay, I was a bit confused watching it, only because this isn't a real killer, right? Was this guy real? That's what threw me off. I thought this was based on a real life, mass murderer. So I'm watching it. So when they started introducing those because that's what I think somebody described it as. So when I'm watching it and they were introducing the supernatural elements, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I think it was based on, there were satanic killings back in like the 70s or whatever. I don't know that.
But Longlegs wasn't a real serial killer.
No.
Man, that messed me up as I was watching this movie, and it really threw me off and disconnected me from what was happening versus what I expected. Overall, I thought it was good. I think that was the rating that I had. I think I enjoyed my watch. It was just that confusion kind of got me, and there were some other questions that I had. I was like, wait, well, if that's the case, then how did such and such do? But I think it was explained later after I thought about it. I think I know how. But overall, I thought it was fine. I was just confused as I was watching. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I never heard of Longlegs. I thought I was going to get a real good profile of who the fuck Longlegs was, bro. I was ready to go Wikipedia this thing. I was like, damn, how come I never heard about Longlegs killing kids?
It was easy to get confused. I feel like it was like very like, what the fuck is happening here? But they did it well, though. The method in which they did that was good.
All right. Well, like I said, this is from Osgood Perkins, who also did Gretel and Hansel, which I loved.
Oh yeah, okay. And I was gonna ask you who he was.
He did I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives. What is it? I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. Yeah, that's it. I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. And he also did one of my favorite horror movies that no one talks about. It's called Black Coat's Daughter. I believe we reviewed that here.
Yep, we did.
So yeah, I am very familiar with Oz Perkins. That's what made me so excited to see this, because the trailers did nothing. The trailers were cool, but they did nothing to really get me super excited until I saw his name, and I was like, okay, I fuck with him, so I'm interested in seeing this. I'm on the opposite end of y'all. I thought this was amazing. I loved every second of this movie. This is 100% my kind of movie. This is all the way up my alley. So I was in heaven watching this whole film. I was
amazing.
I love this. Yes. I think Micah Monroe was stellar. Blair Underwood was stellar. The mom, whose name I can't remember, was stellar. The only thing I hated was the marketing for this film. And I fucking hate the fact that critics and PR people, they keep fucking around talking about, oh, this is the scariest movie of the decade, and wait till you see Nicolas Cage's performance. It's like, shut up, dude.
It wouldn't.
Shut up. Yeah. It's a great movie. I love it, but y'all...
They did overhype that. Yeah. But I'm glad I didn't see any of that until after the fact. But
I saw it and I was just like, all right, dude. Anytime anyone says this is the scariest movie of the decade, this is the scariest horror film of the past decade, that means you only watch 2 fucking horror movies in your entire life. So I don't trust you. I don't fucking trust you. But is it creepy and scary? Not really. Not to me. Is it fucking fantastic? I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to try to get through these notes. So it starts off with lyrics from a T-Rex song, which I'm sure y'all know the song. Yeah, you do. How does it go? something, something, bang a gong, get it on. You've heard that song.
Oh, yeah. I know that tune.
But yeah, a car drives up to a house. A little girl goes outside, and then she hears cuckoo. And she looks over, and we're introduced to a man in lipstick. At least I assume. We're going to say a man. I don't know. But yes, a man in lipstick.
I didn't know at first.
Still don't.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really say, but that kind of goes with who he represents. But yes, what did y'all think of when you first saw Longlegs, Ken?
I'm going to go, man, I ain't going to lie. They got me, bro.
You were scared?
I normally, jump scares don't get me. I don't know how the fuck they got me.
That was a jump scare?
Or whatever they did. When he popped up on screen with that loud noise, bro, that shit started the shit out of me, bro. And I watch my fair share of horror movies.
Oh, man.
I don't know how, because I'm like, it's on the way.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the timing of it or what it was. But man, when that shit was like, boom, it was like, ah! I was like, yo, my heart jumped. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest with you. I was like, and I was in the Spike. I was questioning myself. I was like, man, what the fuck?
They got me.
What the hell was going on? Bruh, my whole shit. It took a minute for my shit to calm back down, bro.
Did you get you too, Spike?
I like. They didn't do cheap jump scares. They were every time they did it, it was effective. And
I was worried for you, Spike, because I was like,
I know he don't like horror movies.
I know. I was like, shit, Spike not about to be. He might have walked out.
Spike curled up in his chair like in the fetal
I went
position.
at 2:00 in the daytime. I made sure. But no, they did the jump scare. I was like, oh shit, what was that? First of all, what's about to happen? What the fuck was that? That was my thought. So yeah, they got me too, kid.
That shit was loud, bro.
Yeah, I loved it too. I was like, oh shit, all right. I think I had forgotten that it's Nicolas Cage. I typically don't like Nicolas Cage stuff, but I had forgotten that it was Nicolas Cage until they showed the opening credits and they're like, Nicolas Cage is Longlegs. I was like, all right. So yeah, so then it starts off with part one, which is titled His Letters. And we're introduced to Lee Harker, who's played by Micah Monroe, who a lot of y'all will know from, she was in The Stranger. She was also in It Follows. So I think she's a great actor.
Oh, okay.
But she's a cop, and she's in a cop meeting, and they're looking for a killer. They're looking for a criminal. So her and her partner set out to find him. And after Harker has this intuition about what house he's in, how did you think that played out, Spike?
Fantastic, because now I was intrigued. I wanted to know how she knew it, and even how they played up to it with her, like him dismissing her, like, oh, this is our first day, and then as soon as he opened the door, boom, dude blew his brains out. I was wondering why they didn't have radios, why she couldn't call for help or anything, but that was neither here nor there. But that was good. That was really good, and it made her character interesting, because now I'm like, again, I'm intrigued as to, okay, what's going on with this. I like mystery, not much so as horror, but it piqued my mysterious vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew he was a goner.
I didn't expect it.
Me either.
I did not expect it.
It was him. Oh, it's gonna be fine. I don't know. It was this.
You're too calm.
Yeah. Now, so it just felt like he was going to get killed, but that shit was like blam. As soon as he opened the door, he was out of there. Yeah, so I was like, oh shit. My thing was, I'm with you. Like, well, why the hell is she just going there by herself? But he was like, nah, I'm not. I'll surrender.
Yeah.
But I thought that was crazy, and plastic everywhere and shit like that. I was like,
house.
yo, what the fuck?
Like he had just been
Dexter
killing people
shit.
in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so she goes in, she apprehends him, and after undergoing some tests, she's then made an FBI agent. She's put on a cold case of a person who they're not sure if he's a murderer, but he's always been present at a whole bunch of murder-suicides. So they stick her on this this case. And then, well, actually, I guess I'll ask, what did y'all think of the case? Were y'all interested in finding out what's going on with this case?
I was, because still at this time, I am thinking this is like based on a real story. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see how this unfolds. And, I think they, no, they didn't show us the letters yet, but it sounded interesting, because I was like, how the hell is he killing these people and not being there? So I'm like, well, did they? Yeah. So I was definitely intrigued.
I was intrigued, and Blair Underwood sold it very well. As far as him telling the story, I liked again this character for him because he's usually playing like a suave dude. He was the character that they put him in and explained this story and explained what was going on. It did definitely have me intrigued.
What did y'all think about the calls that she was making to her mother? Was that interesting at all?
It wasn't at first because it was weird they added that to the story, and I found out later why. Because I was like, who just randomly calls their mother like that every day? But I mean,
why does her mother act surprised every time she calls?
Yeah. So, because I didn't think she was talking to her mother on the other end. I thought it was all in her head, or she was just pretending to call her mom. So, and then the way they had that scene set up is, I thought something was going to start running through the back of through behind her, because they had the door open. And so I thought that was interesting that she kept calling her mom, or that she called her mom. So it seemed a little weird. So I didn't think it was really her mom on the other end.
I attributed that to her just being a weird character, and also I thought her mom may have been weird because like even when she called her, she would act surprised if she didn't have a daughter, and then she would say, "Yes, your only daughter." And she did that numerous times when she called her. So I knew something was off, but I attributed more so to her being like a character that was on the spectrum versus.
Yeah, why are you at this? She was in this isolated place. With nobody in a damn, what looked like a log cabin.
All right, so Lee Harker lives in a house that's actually in the middle of nowhere too, and she gets a knock on the door while she's doing some research. And she goes outside to find that there's no one there, but then turns around and she sees somebody inside the house. And she runs back in and she finds one of Longlegs' envelopes. What did you think? What did you think about? What did you think that was actually going to be in the envelope, Spike?
I had no idea. I didn't think it'd be a coding for her to break the code of what it was.
Did you think that was cool?
I did. I think that was cool because now I'm wondering how the hell did she know him? Like how does he know her? Where does she know him from? And how are they going to trace that back to what's going on? I did find it interesting too that she didn't say anything. I couldn't really put my finger on why she didn't say anything to Blair Underwood as this motherfucker came to my house. So it made me think that she had some previous experience with him as well.
Well, and because she opened it before she was supposed to, right?
Yeah, it said,
don't open this until
your birthday.
Yeah, so I'm weird. I would open that shit too.
Yeah.
But
took that shit to
she got balls on her though. She is not afraid. Like she went outside looking for the motherfucker, and she came back in the house looking for the motherfucker. But once she opened it, and all the coded language, and then of course the actual English version of it, I was like, oh, you can decode this shit now, which is what she did, and then lied to, like you pointed out, Blair Underwood about it. Saying, oh yeah, I just spent a lot of long nights and shit working on it.
So this is when it transitions into part 2, which is called All of Your Things. And that's when we see it's a birthday card and it's all this coded language, coded writing. And I was trying to read it, but I couldn't read it fast enough. But one part I did catch when he said, I'll cut off your hanging milk tits and bleed your mommy dry. I was like, God damn, this motherfucker is just rude and nasty. So after this scene, she's called into work to find out that a family is dead and Longlegs has left another message. Ken, what did you think about this scene?
Oh man, yeah, because they have been dead for a minute.
A month.
Yeah, and she him. What I found interesting was what's the detective's name? Carter. So Carter walked in and he was already holding his face and stuff like that, and they went in to see the body, and he was like, yeah, so this is our first time on the case, so we're gonna have to look out for her, so make sure she's ready. And she pulled it out. She didn't even fucking flinch, but his ass had to leave. So that was the thing. That was like, oh, but who's really ready about this shit? But yeah, man, like the fact that they had been there that long and maggots everywhere, and the reason it was been that long because they thought they were on vacation. So that was insane. But I noticed Carter didn't seem like he was really about that life.
Was this after she met his family or before?
I think this is before.
Okay.
I think this is before. I didn't get to watch this more than once, so I may get that part confused. But
I just wanted. I think if it was before or after, I was just wondering because he had to report with the now is where he was showing her the stuff on the case. I just thought the whole family thing when he met them was weird, and I think it happened before, and I didn't want to skip it. So I just did y'all think it was weird? Did y'all think it was weird when she met her daughter and how she was acting?
I'm trying to remember.
Sitting on the side of the bed, kind of like weird. Halfway talking to her, and then she invited her to a birthday party.
Because remember, they went out for drinks. He came back in, and she was on the floor asleep. And it was like, all right, well, we're going to go out for drinks. Yeah. And then he was too drunk to drive, so she drove him home. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, yeah, you get to meet my family. She was like, do I have to? He was like, yes.
Damn it, I deleted my notes. I was going to look. I do remember writing that down because while I was watching it in the theater, I had to like take notes.
Yeah, I do that too.
I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah, but I thought she was like, oh, do you want to see my room? Which, I guess is kid shit, right? But she was just sitting in the room on the side of the bed just looking weird.
Yeah.
And then what I also thought was like, you just met her, you were invited to a birthday party.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I guess you can't say no, because it looked like she was in there for a long time. And I'm like, man, where the mom at?
Wait, where's everybody at?
Yeah, like y'all don't even know this.
I don't think that's that weird. Especially if that's his business, like his
He just met her, Mike.
And she weird.
She is, everybody here is weird, but if that was a guy, I would think it was a little sketch. But he brought home a woman. She's young. I would expect that her daughter might latch onto her. Yeah. But yeah, her daughter's definitely fucking weird. But yeah, so back to the scene with the family in the house. I did like that scene a lot, especially when they showed the kids covered in maggots. I was like, all right, this movie's going there. I wasn't expecting that. But if you remember, after this, there's another call with her mom, and she's talking to her mom about her prayers. And her mom was asking her, oh, are you still doing your prayers? And she's like, prayers protect us from the devil. And I was like, all right, that's going to mean something. But yeah, it cuts to her doing some research, and she's trying to figure out how all of these deaths and these patterns are working. And she's looking at Dante's 9 circles of hell, and she works out that the murders are happening according to a pattern. And I want to know, Spike, how did you like this pattern, and did this start to confuse you?
It did start to confuse me, but I like when movies, TV shows do this. They show why this person is good at what they do. They put the clues together. I like how seeing her figure it out. That worked for me, but I was definitely confused. I had no idea what was going
on. Yeah, I mean, it was just following along with the movie. At some point, she was going to crack the code. She became obsessive with it. Kind of going back a little bit to what the mom said. And now knowing what I know, I've completely forgot about that conversation, Mike, and it does connect it. I did think at the time when I was watching, I was like, well, that was random. Why the fuck you saying that shit? But I didn't question to the point where it would come back later like you did.
Which
I was
conversation?
Like, when she was like, oh, you got to say your prayers.
Because
it was a completely different conversation than she had the first time.
Right.
And she just went to, oh, yeah, you got to say your prayers because, prayer. I was like, okay, that's weird. Why the fuck is she saying that? But I just thought she had a weird relationship with her mom. Mm-hmm. So that's why I thought it stood out, but I also dismissed it as them both just being fucking weird. Because her mom sounded weird as shit on the phone. But seeing her kind of, once she had all of the different spots on the map, you could kind of just, at some point she was going to connect it. Yeah. So I was like, okay, now we kind of putting this thing together. It's tied to the devil.
Starting to move, yeah.
So this part, I was frantically trying to take notes because I was like, this is going to mean something. They were moving really fast with the pattern. That's why I was trying to ask y'all what y'all thought of the pattern. But to be clear, what the pattern is, and this is how I wrote it down. Longlegs is targeting families who have daughters born on the 14th day of any given month. Mm-hmm. And then the murders happen within 6 days before or after the birthday. And I was like, okay, what in the fuck? Why? Why is that a pattern? I wrote notes down, but I think I should probably mention this later. But did y'all figure out the 14th part? Why was the 14th day?
I heard not the 14th. I
didn't see why.
The six part kind of made sense.
But it was only 2 6s.
No, it was
6 days before or 6 days after.
Yeah, but I thought there was going to be a third. There was going to be a third murder too, though.
No. What I'm saying is the fact that he kills them either 6 days before their birthday or 6 days after their birthday. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, there's a 6, here's a 6, and then there's a 14 in the middle. And I was like, I don't get it. Because he killed multiple people. But it was always either or. It was always either before or after, or either after.
Yeah, 14 minus 6 is...
But the 14 I had a lot of trouble with. And I wrote down that, I don't know if you remember, but Longlegs and the mom, they kept mentioning Revelations 13:1. They were quoting it.
Yeah.
13:1, 14. So I had to go home and, of course, look it up. And it describes a beast and a dragon and how the beast could multiply. And here's the quote for y'all listening. Y'all might remember she said this part. And I stood up on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon the horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So now I'm going to give you the 11th and 12th verses real quick. On the 11th verse it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And the 12th one is, and he exerciseth all power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. Oh, okay. I guess it's just me. All right. So then she also finds the phrase X.
No. I love all that. I got to look at it.
Once we get to the end, if you go back and you read those verses, it completely makes sense. Okay. But once they hear about this story of the Camera family, where a priest comes into the home. The little girl Carrie Ann watches the priest as the father kills the priest and then her mother. And usually the story rounds out with him killing the kids and then himself. But somehow Carrie Ann survived. So her and Carter, they go to the farm that this all happened. It was the same farm that it happened on, right?
Yeah.
I was a bit confused by this part, but they find a crucifix, which is obviously, that's what they're treating as an X. And under the floorboard, they find a note with an inverted triangle and a doll. What did this mean, Spike?
This is where I started to get lost as far as knowing what was going on and what. I knew the Longlegs dude was probably doing the killing, but having the dolls tie in and them starting to introduce those, I was lost. I was 100% lost as to what was going on. But again, it still wasn't bad. I was just lost and wasn't following what was going on.
Yeah, I love the brutality of the murders and showing those. I thought that was cool. I probably shouldn't do this, but I couldn't help it. I'm like, they were going to 2 places to see Carrie Ann, and they went to the farm first. I'm like, why the fuck y'all go at night? I know they got to make a movie, but I'm just like, y'all using flashlight. It's way easier to find clues and see shit in the daytime. Anyway.
Oh, you know what? They were at night, because I do remember being confused, because when they went up into the attic, there was light coming in from the top.
Yeah, from the moon, I was assuming.
But that was a lot of light. You're right. It was at night. And I remember thinking, that doesn't make any sense. Why is there... Because it looked like 2 big flashes of light coming down.
Yeah, it was the sky. It was the closest of the 2 locations, so I think they went there first. Maybe, because and then they went to Carrie Ann. But I'm like, I know it's to make a movie, it has to be whatever. But I don't know. I'm just like, y'all cops, y'all don't have to go right now. What's the urgency?
I think they were in urgent. Well, they knew that he might kill again. So I think they were just trying to speed this along to get the clues quicker. Maybe that's shooting at some bail. I didn't think about it that hard, but I did think, like, y'all don't have to go at night.
Yeah.
But
I it's a movie, but it's just, I don't know. I be asking myself these questions sometimes. And I was just like, that doesn't make sense. But because I didn't feel, I know the looming threat of him killing again, and by then she had the pattern. But then you have to figure out who the kid was. And around this time, I definitely was thinking about the daughter, Carter's daughter, because
I wasn't
about the birthday.
Really?
It was just because it was like what? Because even when she was like, "You want to come to my birthday?" I was like, "You don't know this. You don't know her.
I didn't put
so
that
why
together.
ask?" So that's why
I put it together when they told us.
Yep.
When she was like, the birthday. I was like,
I didn't think about it until she got that call that said you're late for the birthday. I was like, oh fuck. But I didn't think about Carter's family that hard.
It was just because once they introduced the birthdays, I remember her being asked to come to the birthday.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I wonder if, she's going to be next in line.
Yeah, I didn't connect it to the murders that were happening.
Yeah, but yeah, I again, this creepy ass doll, this letter, all of these clues.
The paper
I'm waiting
with the triangle.
for it. The triangle. Because the triangle was kind of attached to her doing the triangle on the map. So that was the connection I made between those two.
But the triangle is also, it's an inverted triangle, which is also the sigil of Lucifer. So they showed that earlier when she was going through that book, when she was doing the research. And the funny thing is, I learned that when I have a shirt for a band. It's on. I didn't know. I thought it was the band title because bands, they write them out. Metal bands, they scribble them and whatever. But it has that symbol on there, and my stupid ass was just walking around wearing it, and someone picked up on it. And they were like, "Why would you wear that?" And I was like, "I like the band."
Because the map was the inverted triangle too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just didn't know it was the sigil of Lucifer until I got that shirt. Jeez. And then I saw it. I know. And I saw it in the movie, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." But yeah, so they find out that the doll is handmade with human hair. And there's a silver ball inside the head, and they hold something up to the ball, and it makes this weird sound, and Harker starts to drift off, and we see Carrie Ann talking to Longlegs. Were y'all interested in this part at all, Spike?
Yes.
Do you remember this part?
I remember the sound playing in the ball and then them showing snakes. And that was what was in Harker's head, right?
Yeah, and then she starts to drift off, and that's when she sees Longlegs talking to Carrie Ann
in the yard when he was talking to him.
No, I don't remember this part.
Yeah, they're in the house, and he's talking to Carrie Ann. He's like, oh, I know you're not afraid of the dark because you are the dark.
And he put that thing over.
And he put that thing over her. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. The black drape over her head.
Okay, yeah. I remember.
And then that's when she went to go see. Okay, gotcha.
This was the autopsy scene too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just now hit me. The significance of this scene and how when he put the thing over, I got it impacting her because she was supposed to be clairvoyant or whatever. It was him, what he said when he was like, yeah, I started seeing or hearing something. And I was like, well, how the hell you hearing shit? Because you don't have any powers. And now I connected it to what was going on and what the thing was doing, the orb was doing. Okay, god damn. Okay. All right.
What'd you think of the scene of Longlegs in the grocery store?
Oh, man.
Dad, the weird man is here again.
Oh, I love that. I actually like what Nicholas did in this movie.
He said it was inspired by his own mother. But I didn't read all of it. I definitely read that part.
Yeah, because when he did the cuckoo shit.
Bruh. She said, I don't know what the fuck that means.
No, which is such a kid reaction, right? It is. That's what it's a small thing, but I loved it because kids were like, all right, man, bro. And I guess he comes in there a lot because she was like, all right.
He's here again.
Yeah, can you get this motherfucker out here? But that wasn't a kid that was attacked, though. That was a different kid. Okay. I got a little bit mixed up on that because I thought that was Carrie Ann.
No.
I thought we were doing flashbacks. But
I don't think, at least.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. But either way, we got to see Longlegs more because he's in the car and the scream he let out. I was like, yo, like he is invested in making this guy appear as demented as possible.
Facts.
So, but that cuckoo shit cracked me the fuck. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, what the fuck would I do if somebody did that shit in front of me?
I do the same. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Right. What the fuck would you do if somebody?
I might do it back. Cuckoo. What are we doing?
And then the way the person is dressed, like none. She had a reaction to none of it.
Right. She's used to it.
She's seen it before. She's
right.
like, oh my god. My day already boring and long.
You fuck up. If you've worked retail, there is always that customer that comes in there, the weirdest fuck every time. Like, and when you look at it from the outside looking in, you'll be like, damn, I don't even know why I engaged with this motherfucker. But in the moment, you're just like, oh, here comes fucking Roger with this bullshit. Hey, Roger.
Yep.
What do you want, Roger? So I like this scene.
I did. I liked the scene too. It really added to the character. we didn't get to see the Longlegs a lot, but this right here like set the foundation for it as far as him being a creepy, demented, fucking person.
Yeah, that part in the car, I was like, man, I'm already in love with this movie. And he's like, Daddy, Mommy, unmake me and save me from this. What did he say? Save me from this life or something. I was like, yo, all right. I like this. I like this a lot. Sorry, I'm looking because I have some food coming, so I'm going to have to jump up in a second and go grab it. What did you think of the scene where they go to the mental institution? And this is where they go and they talk to Carrie Ann. Ken, what did you think about all of this shit that happened? Or do you mean to run through it?
I don't. No, I don't.
You don't need me to run through it, or you do need me to run through it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They go and they visit her, and they find out that she was completely catatonic.
I do
until a
remember her
visitor
saying, like,
came.
do you guys check ID? I thought that was funny.
Oh, that was funny. That fucking
That would
guy.
be a great idea.
Oh my God, that guy was amazing.
He was.
That would be a great idea, but no, we don't do that.
But yeah, because she didn't really talk to her.
Who?
Carrie Ann.
She did talk to her.
Yeah, because he said, yeah, she didn't talk, but now all of a
Then
sudden
she
she was
started
talking
threatening,
until you came and talked to her.
Right.
Did she
And
say
now she
something
got a
that was
lot
in
to
those
say.
letters?
I don't think. I don't
she'll
know.
fuck her up or something like that.
Did she what her up?
Did she tell her she'll fuck her up?
She did. She did say something like that. I meant to write it down, but I don't think I wrote it down. But yeah, no, she did. She said to her that she recognizes her, and she said, "You were at my house."
That was it.
Or if it wasn't you, it's someone that
Somebody
looks
look
just like you.
Fuck.
And then she also says that, you know what? Hold on, my food's here. Let me go grab my food. Pause for just 1 second. Sorry, Jalen. I'll be right back. She's outside. Y'all think about this for a minute.
Damn. That last part just, yep.
Just registered.
Somebody that looks just like you. Yep. Okay. It's not a throwaway line, but I think NCAA come out tomorrow.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered it, it come out tomorrow night.
Yeah, LeBron was playing that shit.
Oh, he got his copy already.
I think they just had him play it as part of the promo. They're promoting the hell out of this shit, bro. Their rollout is crazy.
Yeah, it has been. I think the regular version comes out Friday.
Should be 3 days.
So Wednesday.
So it should be Wednesday.
All right, sorry about that. All right, so yeah, so she says she recognized her and that she's been to her house, and if it wasn't her, it was someone that looks a lot like her. And she says, she starts telling this story about her mother. She says how her mother hated her because she came out wrong. And then she shows like this is a scene where it shows like this older woman and she's stabbing this doll. Do you remember this at all? And then it shows the dad who just cut off a cow's head.
Yep.
And he's walking around the couch. She says Papa was a good man and that's why he done it. And then she's now giving this impression that she would do anything for the person that visited her. She did say something that sounded moderately threatening to Lee, but I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, it was definitely. I remember picking up on that because I was like, "What? Why would she tell her that?"
Damn.
It was something in the lines of "I'll fuck you up," like
Something like that.
Yeah, like very subtly saying that, just in regular conversation to it. She just went to it. She was talking about her dad and mom, and then she's like, "You know, I'll fuck you up, right?"
I don't know
Lady was
why I
like,
deleted my notes. Once I made... Oh, wait. Here they are. Hold on. Oh, wait.
Because I like why you're looking that up. Because I liked it. Because then they showed another scene of the murder where he came in, he killed the wife, and I think she was still alive. And he came back and finished her off. I was like, ooh, that's brutal.
It was, man. These killers were brutal with the axes going in the heads and shit.
But we don't know how she ended up surviving, though.
We still don't know how she survived. And I thought that was actually interesting. And I guess I lied. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. Oh, well. Anyways, she did say something threatening. But yeah, so Carter tells Harker that this part I thought was actually really interesting. And her mom had called the police the day before her birthday saying that there was an intruder. And he says that she needs to go talk to her mom about what happened. So she goes to her mom's place and asks her mom what happened, and her mother tells her all of her things are still in her room. She doesn't tell her what happened. She just says all of your shit is still in your room. Ken, what did you think about what she found in the room?
I was wondering throughout the movie who that girl was at the beginning of the movie. At one point, I thought it may have been Carrie Ann. Mm-hmm. But I was asking myself, what's that Lee? But they never really said it until now. So I was like, well, damn, that was Lee. But how did she survive? What happened? The other thing when I was watching that opening scene, I was like, you didn't see any footprints in the damn snow? How are you going to sneak up on you? You can hear the snow crunching. How the hell are you going to sneak up on you like that? True. But maybe I was just saying that because they scared me. But things started to kind of slowly come together. I still wasn't suspecting what we had, but there was definitely a connection between Lee and Longlegs. And there was something else they said earlier, and I think Harker said it. She was like, well, maybe there's an accomplice. Mm-hmm. So as I'm watching the movie, I'm also trying to figure out who the accomplice is. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I was like, well, damn, is it Lee?
Same thing. Now I realize, okay, at the beginning, I think I was a little bit more sure that was her that was outside. So I thought that then, and now I'm thinking, okay, well, is she a part of this?
I saw you at the house. Somebody that looked like you.
And that's where I was with it when they was doing it until we, of course, got the real answer. But I began to think that Lee was a part of it.
So you didn't get that there was a Polaroid of Longlegs? That's what she found in the box.
Yeah, Polaroid, yeah.
Oh, I'll just make sure y'all got that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I seen.
Okay, you look at me like I was crazy. I was like, wait a minute. That is what she found, right? Because that's what I wrote down.
Yeah, she did find a Polaroid.
Yeah, it was Polaroids,
Okay. Yeah. So I was pretty much right when I saw her, I assumed that she was the little girl in the beginning. So I was wondering why she wasn't saying anything about knowing Longlegs. So when they got to the part where she saw him in the house and he left that note, I was already like, she's sketchy as fuck. So I wasn't surprised that she didn't say anything. I was like, she didn't say anything about knowing him when she was a child either. She's being fucking weird. But yeah, so she takes this picture of Longlegs back to Carter. So now they have a picture of what he looks like. So they put out an APB. Now it's amazing that he still looks exactly the same, but we're gonna let that part be up to our imaginations. But they put out an APB and they immediately arrest Longlegs because who else looks like this motherfucker?
Okay, I guess I can let that go then because I was like, they found his ass fast.
They found him fast because it's a fairly small town and he looks crazy. And he was at a fucking bus stop.
So he was still in this. Okay.
He was still in the city, and I'm assuming right when they put out the APB, they were like, "Oh, that's the crazy motherfucker
we know him.
that keeps coming in the store and bothering people. We know that guy."
Yeah.
So they go and they grab him and they bring him back to the station. Spike, what did you think about the interrogation scene?
He started beating his head against the whole interrogation scene was wild, but to capitalize it off when he was beating his head against the table and saying the different stuff that he said, again, solidified how diabolical that he was. And it also made me wonder, again, now I'm wondering more about the accomplice because they took him off the board. Like who and what else was going on, because it didn't seem like he had killed anybody. It seemed like he had just set everything up, and now I took myself out. So what's left of this movie for us to figure out?
Well, at this point, I was like, well, this shit can't be real. Like, damn. Because I thought this scene was good. I think, Nicolas Cage's portrayal of this character was dope, and how the way he did his voice. I worked for the man downstairs, and the way he was teasing her. I got a lot of, I started thinking about Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter and Clarice, vibes between the two of them, even though it didn't go all the way there. But I definitely thought about that. And the other thing, I was like, well, if he's bashing, it took forever for the cops to get in there while he was bashing his head. So I think that was the other thing, because they should have been right outside watching, but it's whatever. But yeah, all the dialogue and things he was saying was really good. And again, how are they connected? Because did she even ask him? Why do I got a picture of you? Because it wasn't at a birthday party. You definitely wasn't a clown coming up You know, so
I'm thinking she's starting to remember at this point.
What happened between?
Yeah. But yeah, Longlegs, he's singing her happy birthday. I thought that was fucking weird as hell. But then he starts saying how it's funny, or how he found it funny when she became a cop. So it's almost like implying that he's been watching her this whole fucking time. He says something else about how she needs to go talk to her mommy about what's going on. And then he says, "Hail Satan," and starts bashing his face in over and over and over again.
that shit was crazy.
And I was like, all right, man, this movie is fucking tight. So then it transitions into the third and final part, which is the birthday girls. Carter tells Harker that Carrie Ann jumped out a window and killed herself, which I was like, okay.
Carter was hot.
Yeah. I was like, that's weird. But Harker and Agent Browning, which is the Asian woman, they go back to her mom's house to talk to her because they think that she might be the accomplice. What did you think about what happened to Agent Browning, Ken?
Why didn't she get that? She could have came and just. She probably would have been shot anyway. But that shit was fucked up, bro. Just walked right up, boom, and shot her ass twice. You know,
With a shotgun. I'm like, you didn't kill her the first time?
right?
She shot her from both sides.
So I knew she was a goner as soon as she was like, "Yeah, you stay here, I'll be back." You know, and went in the house, and man, that shit was crazy. And then it was confirmation that the mom was definitely the accomplice. So yeah, he took her out brutally.
I did not pick up that the mom was the accomplice until she was out there with the gun.
Oh, okay.
Were we supposed to know before then? Like I really didn't pick up.
I don't know if we were supposed to know, but talking about it, they gave us all the clues we
they did.
could
They
put
did.
it together.
And
I figured
did
it
not
was
put
when he
together.
said you need to go home and talk to your mommy.
Really?
I figured also when she didn't tell her anything earlier, when she was
she
like,
asked
"Oh,
her
all
about
your
it.
shit's still in your room." I was like, "What the fuck? Oh
This-
no, something's
yeah,
up with
she
her."
definitely-
Yeah, it shocked me. I was like, oh shit. Now it was an old shit moment in the movie, 100%.
I fucking love this scene. I did not expect that to happen to Agent Browning. I thought what was going to happen is Lee was going to go in the house, some fucking hubbub was going to happen, and then Agent Browning was going to have to run in there and save her or something. I was not expecting the mom to walk up behind the car with a shotgun and blast her twice. I was like, this shit is tight. But Harker goes outside after that to find her mom holding a shotgun to the head of a doll. And she shoots the doll after saying, "You caught him and now he's free." Harker passes out. What did you notice was going on here, Ken?
That doll, I think that doll looked like her, and because at first I was like, "Who's this kid?" That was, whoever designed that doll was good, and she blasted that doll, bro, and that doll. And I guess the doll itself was able to control the people and make the people commit the murders. That doll was more than likely in that house, I think, this whole time, which may have been either controlling the mom or possibly even having Lee, like maybe not even remember any of that shit. So because of the orb shit and her powers, I guess, I don't know. And she shot the doll and she immediately passed out because she had a stronger connection, I guess, to all that stuff that was going on than the other ones. So yeah, and it made sense for her to pass out because she had a connection earlier when it happened. So I guess you exploded, then of course you would fall out. But yeah, I thought that was a real doll. But I think that doll was controlling them.
I thought it was the thing, the little ball. Inside.
Yeah, but the ball was inside the doll, little brain thing. So when she shot the no, because that would have severed the connection that the mom had to Longlegs and the devil if she shot it, right?
When she shot the doll, some black came out of Lee's head, like something left her.
It came out of Lee's head?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the doll.
No, that was Lee.
Came out of both of them. I was gonna let y'all cook, but yeah, when she shot the doll's head, the black stuff came out of that orb, and it also came out of Lee.
So it was controlling Lee.
I thought then that was why Lee, when she said, he asked her, Blair Underwood asked her earlier in the movie, he was like, "How do you figure this stuff out?" She said, "It's something just pulling me." Which is that I felt like she had evil in her, so she was able
She
to
don't have powers,
pick up on
really.
the evil. And that's what I took from it.
Yeah, I don't think that it was controlling the mother, because the next part is when we get the huge exposition dump, which I thought was weird, but I still liked it.
I needed it.
I thought it was cool.
I needed it. I was like, I fucking finally.
But it's here that they outline that the orb wasn't controlling the mom. I think the orb was making Lee forget what had happened. But we get the story that Longlegs was a doll maker, and he put a little bit, quote unquote, a little bit of himself in every doll. And then the mother says it was the work of the devil. Now, the story that she told was when Longlegs came to the house and met Lee and the mom, Longlegs was going to kill both of them. And the mom made a deal with Longlegs that she would be the accomplice. So it wasn't that the orb was controlling her. She was only doing that to keep Lee alive. So she would go to the houses and she'd tell them that you want a gift from the church, because who's not going to let somebody in that says you want a gift from a church and it's a big ass box? Inside the box was a doll. Inside the doll's head was an orb. Inside that orb was like a small essence of the devil. That's what was controlling people,
making people die.
It was infecting the fathers of the house. Luckily for Lee, and I can't remember if they ever explained why, but luckily for Lee, the father wasn't in the house. I'm not even sure if they said where her father was.
I don't think they ever did,
or if they even brought him up. But yeah, so that's what was going on. She said that they delivered the doll, and from his hiding place, the devil would do the rest. So that was the orb.
That's crazy. So Longlegs, he was doing the killing before?
Longlegs was just a vessel. Longlegs was never doing any killing.
He just put the
But he was going to
spells
kill
in the orb.
He threatened to kill the mom. We don't know if he was really going to do it, but he threatened, because it doesn't even go along with Longlegs' MO to just randomly show up at this house and kill them. The thing is, he knew that her birthday was on that special date, that 14th. But
which was the missing date on the map.
I thought the 13th was the missing date. That's the part that I actually got a little bit confused about. I need to see this again. But I remember them saying that there's a missing date. And I thought he said the 13th. And I was like, well, why would the 13th be a missing date?
But the missing date, if it's the 13th or 14th, it's probably 14th to go along with everything else, would have been her. And since he let her go, it didn't complete it. So he was using them or her mom to commit all these murders. But prior to getting an accomplice, was he committing the murders?
No, because it was always the orb. That's how I.
Then how
took
did
it.
how would he get the orb into the houses?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought the mom delivered him.
No.
Before he got to her.
Yeah, before he got an
doing prior
accomplice.
to that?
Somebody had to have been doing the murders.
It was always. I took it. It was always the fathers of the household. I don't know how he was getting that essence into the fathers, but I never took it as he was just going into the house and killing people. I always took it as he was just a vessel for Satan to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this part, I definitely need to see this movie again, because this part threw me off. Even with this huge exposition dump, I was like, wait, I feel like I'm missing something.
I just thought it had been the mom all those years, dropping the different dolls off.
No, Longlegs was
But it was way
doing the killing.
He was doing it way before the mom dropped the dolls off.
That's what I thought, but I'm not sure anymore. I don't know if all of the killings came after he met the mom and Lee, or if he was doing killings before that. I thought that he never actually himself killed anyone.
See, I took it as he started when he met Lee. I thought that Lee was the first girl that he met and had to deal with the mom. And then from then on out, she was taking dolls to the doors, and then the killings were happening.
That's what I thought, but it's like there was something else in the movie that threw me off. But that's what I thought too, but I wasn't positive if there were murders before Lee.
Got it.
Like when I was watching it, I thought the first kill was after Lee, because they specifically said he's always there, but it's always a murder-suicide. They're just trying to figure out why he's always there. I don't think Blair Underwood's character ever said that Longlegs had himself killed anyone.
Yeah.
So Harker wakes up in the mom's house. Oh, this is also we find out that basement area that was in the mother's house. That whole time, all of that shit was downstairs.
Because she almost walked in that door, and then the mom called, and
Yep.
she never went in there. And then she also saw the car.
Yeah,
outside,
so Harker wakes up in the mom's house. She gets a phone call saying she's gonna miss Ruby's birthday. And this is when my fucking head exploded. So
Yes.
Spike, what did you think when that part happened?
I was utterly confused. I didn't see what happened with the mom. I don't know if I blinked too long or what, but I thought that her and the mom had like a little conflict, and I didn't know that the mom would be there at the house. So I'm seeing her there, and I'm thinking like, I thought that something happened to the mom after she shot her, but obviously it didn't. But yeah, I was like you as far as my head exploding. I was utterly confused as to how Blair Underwood's family got into it. But then again, they said her birthday was coming up, and it went all the way back to the beginning. I'm like, oh, that's why that weird, awkward birthday question came from. So yeah, my mind was blown as well as far as this part. It was wild.
Well, I think when I'm watching that whole scene play out, I was asking way too many questions when she walked in. I'd be like, why the fuck is you letting all this shit happen? So that was the biggest thing when she walked in. They had pretty much confirmed that the mom was the accomplice. So I figured she was there. And of course, again, it made sense for Carter to open the door and let her in. And you can immediately see that he was affected by what was going on. We talking about the whole scene?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
A Spike, my favorite part of this whole movie.
The kitchen when he said you ain't coming back.
Man, bro, when I tell you I laughed out
I
loud.
knew you would like that.
Oh man, it was like, yeah, we're gonna go to the kitchen. We'll be back. We'll be right
One
back.
of us
He
will
said,
be
I'll be back.
he said, I'll be back.
You won't.
You'll still be in the kitchen.
When they were talking about cutting up the cakes, and she said, well, do you have to? And he was like, yeah, I have to. I gotta cut up the cakes. It was your stupid fucking suggestion in the first place. I cracked the fuck up. I was like, why are you talking to her like that? But I thought this whole scene was so good. The way the wife was all tense. You could tell he had something going on. And then, I wasn't expecting the mother to be there either. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. All right. Now I got it. But yeah.
Wait, why didn't expect the mom to be there when she's the accomplice?
Well, okay, so I knew that there was an accomplice. Well, I guess I didn't expect the mom to be there when she first walked in. Because the call didn't sound like her mom. It sounded like a man's voice. So I wasn't sure who the fuck was calling her. But I'm assuming that was like Longlegs from the grave or some shit.
So, yeah.
So when the male voice called her and said, you're going to miss Miss Ruby's birthday, I was like, oh, shit.
Or it's another accomplice.
Is there another accomplice? Somebody's about to go kill Carter's wife or Carter's kid. So when Micah Monroe got to his house, and he was like, oh, yeah, come on in. I wasn't expecting the mom to be in there on the couch. But when she walked in and saw the mom, was like, Carter, it's, my mom's, he's like, sit down! I was like, God damn, Blair, shit. But
It was like the voice of the devil. It was a real, deep, different voice. That was dope that they did it. Because that happened at another point in this movie, too.
What happened?
The voice like that. When somebody said something, it sounded like that versus it sounded regular. I
Oh,
think it came from
really?
the
I don't
mom.
remember.
I think it was the mom, if I'm not mistaken, but it happened one other time in the movie, too.
Oh, I don't remember.
It was like this otherworldly voice came.
My only complaint with this scene is I didn't like that they cut away and they didn't show him cutting his wife up. I kind of wish, even if it was just like a quick flash scene, I would have liked to them show like him fucking.
Yeah, we definitely heard it.
Yeah, we definitely heard it, and I think the look on Micah Monroe's face was really, really, really well done. But yeah, that whole scene with the wife and the cakes and the daughter is just mesmerized by the doll. But the mom tells her that all three of them have to die or they'll burn and twist in hell forever. So Carter, after killing his wife, he comes out and he tries to kill his daughter. Lee ends up having to kill him by shooting him a couple times. And then the mom stands up and lunges at Lee, and Lee shoots her in the head. but why couldn't she shoot the doll Spike?
I wanted the same thing. I wonder why she wouldn't just shoot the doll. Wouldn't that end the evil?
She tried. I remember it was acting
out of
she was
bullets.
out of
A gun.
bullets.
She didn't have no
Yeah.
bullets in the
But
gun.
she didn't shoot that many times. It's like 3 shots. So why was she out of bullets?
I didn't think about that.
I don't know. I think
I thought she just ran out of bullets.
the thing I was questioning myself was why did you knew Carter was going to kill his wife and you just let him walk in there? She made no attempt to stop anything, and that's where I was like, why is she just standing there? I don't understand. You know what's going on. You don't put the shit together. Take the doll, throw the doll outside or something. But she didn't do anything, and that was the part that kind of bothered me.
So yeah, so she leaves with the daughter after that, after not being able to shoot the head of the doll, and the movie basically ends with Longlegs, a shot of him, and he says, "Happy birthday to you, hail Satan," and then he kind of smooches, and then the movie ends. So, I know y'all said y'all had questions. What were y'all really confused about when the movie ended?
Well, that for me, there was that part. Why didn't she just shoot Carter and stop Carter from killing his wife when you knew he was about to go commit murders? You know the patterns. You know that the men killed the family. Then they kill themselves, and she just let all that happen. So I wondered if at the end, when she tried to, because she never left the house, it just kind of ended with that scene of her. Is she going to take up the mantle now? And that's why she let the murders happen. Because it just ended with her face, just a shot of her face and the daughter.
I did think that I was wondering, my question was similar to Ken's, is she now the accomplice, or would she continue on with the killings? Like, she didn't come off as a savior to me. And my other theory, we already talked about as far as the question. I was wondering, was I right in the sense that the ball in the head of the doll was what caused the men to act crazy and kill people? So I had to put 2 and 2 together with that. But how did the daughter, her birthday was on the pattern? Gotcha. Okay. But why didn't Blair Underwood pick up on that when he was investigating? Like, my daughter's birthday.
Damn, that is a good question. Damn, shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was thinking.
I mean, with these cop movies, they never expect anything's gonna happen to them. So he probably was just thinking this shit ain't gonna happen to me. But what I got is she was definitely involved. She was absolutely involved, because I think that the orb was doing more to her than we know. Because when Carrie Ann said, "You came to my house," there's no reason why she would say that. So I think that she was involved in the Longlegs killings, but maybe she just didn't remember because the orb was controlling her. I also think that the way it ended, she's not going to be the accomplice. I think she's taking over Longlegs' part. I think the daughter's going to be the accomplice, because she tells the daughter, "Let's go," and then it switches away. So I think what's going to happen now is she is now the new Longlegs, and the daughter is going to be her accomplice.
Yeah, I thought
I could see that.
That's actually a good theory about her committing some of these murders, because when you brought that up at the time, it didn't connect until we were talking about it. She was like, "Oh, it's somebody that looks like you," even though she don't look like her mom. But it was like, "Oh, it didn't look like you," but sometimes you look like your parents. So that was like, "Oh, it wasn't you specifically, but since you look like your mom, it was your mom that came to my house." But you're right, since that orb was causing her to forget what happened, it could have been her and the mom, and it just erasing her memory.
So let's go back to the Bible verse where it said, this is Revelation 12 or 13 and 12, where it says, "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast." So I think what's happening is it just bounces from if this Longlegs dies, it goes to the next one. If she dies, it goes to the next one. So it keeps referencing this this reverence towards the beast that came before the current one. So I think this just keeps going and keeps cycling out. So she's gonna be Longlegs until she dies, and then maybe Longlegs will become the Carter's daughter. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I that's the beautiful thing I think with Oz Perkins films is he doesn't answer all questions, and I'm never bothered by that because if you watch Black Coat's Daughter, he don't answer shit. This I thought was a teeny bit more straightforward because we got that long ass exposition dump, but I loved this shit, man. Like, I'm simple. Give me a fucking satanic murders. I'm there. I'm fucking there.
I'm noticing the pattern.
Man, I really like this. I think Micah Monroe did a great job. I think Blair Underwood stole the show. I think everybody in this did a great job. I hate that it's being marketed as this is the new Nicolas Cage film. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
She did just as good of a job as he did.
Yes.
I think people just weren't expecting that out of Nicolas Cage, but I think Nicolas Cage did an incredible job.
I was going to ask you that.
I actually I heard some dudes. I cut the podcast off. I usually don't listen to anybody reviewing anything before I review something, but they were calling it a spoiler-free review, and I was curious what they were saying about it, and they were saying some dumbass shit about how, oh my god, this is the scariest movie of the past 12 years, and oh man, dude, Longlegs is on the same level as Leatherface when it comes to being scary. I'm like,
no wonder you turned that shit off.
That's when I turned it off. I was like, I'm not listening to this shit. This is stupid. Like, y'all are just exaggerating everything. These are people that don't watch horror movies that are reviewing a horror movie that don't know anything about horror movies. But I do think Nicolas Cage did a great job. He wasn't the standout from this movie, for me at least. But yeah, man, I loved it. Spike, are you still confused or just?
No, I mean, it's as clear as it's gonna be for me. I don't think it wasn't really scary, so I could see what you said. It was a creepy movie. They hit all of the boxes for what they were trying to do. I don't think they were trying to be horrifying. I think it was just like real creepy, uncomfortable, unsettling, and they did it. Like, it was good.
Yeah, because those scenes with the doll with the veil, and the red eyes that would fucking light up, I was like, oh, that's kind of
facts. That was good.
And the scene where they had Harker, and then there was like the shadow behind her that was in the shape of the devil.
That was dope.
Really dope. But yeah, Oz Perkins, writer and director, and I think he's fucking incredible, man. Yeah. I really think he's incredible. But yeah, I will stay on my island of thinking this was an amazing film. I'm glad that y'all didn't hate it necessarily, even though Spike doesn't seem like he loved it.
I didn't hate it.
But yeah, would y'all be interested in Oz Perkins' next film?
Yes, I like his style.
Okay. Yeah. I want to watch the one with the long name.
I am the pretty thing that lives in the house.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that one.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board. I definitely thought Nicolas Cage stood out to me because I don't think I've ever seen him act like this before.
Right. Oh, you haven't seen Mandy?
No.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage has been like, and he's also in a movie called Pig.
Oh, I watched Pig. But you didn't like Pig, did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I liked Mandy a lot. But I can't remember the name of the other one. He did a movie right after Mandy. But he's been getting into his bag as far as, I'm this fucking weirdo. I can go there and just be really wacky.
Okay.
So I think that I don't like it. I think it's corny and it's fucking annoying. I think it worked in Mandy and I think it worked really well in this. So
yeah, and it's good seeing Blair get work. He was in something else. He didn't last long, I think, but he was in something else that we watched. I was like, oh, look at Blair trying to come back.
He was in something else fairly recently.
We reviewed it.
I can't think of what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was surprised to see his name. I was like, Blair
Underwood.
I didn't expect to see him either, but I think he fucking
did a good job.
He did a great,
he did a really good job.
So yeah, this is high on my list. I fucking love this movie. But yeah, y'all let us know what y'all thought of Longlegs. Did this live up to the hype? I know there was a lot of hype around it. Are y'all interested in seeing any more Oz Perkins films? And have you seen his other movies, including The Black Coat's Daughter? I'll be checking the Reddit on this one because I'm curious. So yeah, y'all leave some comments, and we will see y'all next time. All right. Peace.
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 The Frames Per Second podcast.